The third World Scout Jamboree was held in 1929 at Arrowe Park in Upton, Merseyside, United Kingdom. As it was commemorating the 21st birthday of Scouting for Boys and the Scouting movement, it is also known as the Coming of Age Jamboree, with about 30,000 scouts and over 300,000 visitors attending. This jamboree was the largest jamboree so far. Organizational details. From the 29th of July to the 12th of August 1929, the Third World Scout Jamboree was held at Arrowe Park, in Birkenhead, United Kingdom. This jamboree commemorated the 21st birthday of Scouting, counting from the publication of the book Scouting for Boys by General Baden-Powell. Therefore, this jamboree is also known as the Coming of Age Jamboree. The jamboree, on a site of 450 acres, 1.8 square kilometers, was opened by the Duke of Connaught, the president of the Boy Scout Association, and 30,000 scouts and girl guides of many countries attended. During the first week, the weather was poor, turning the park grass into ankle-deep mud, gaining the jamboree its nickname Jamboree of Mud. The camp was organized in 8 sub-camps, around a specially built town in the middle, called Midway, where scouts could purchase materials. Each sub-camp provided pitches for a contingent of scouts troops. The organization of daily chores such as cooking, campfire collecting, etc., were done in turn by the groups. The Girl Guides in Cheshire were asked to run a hospital under canvas. There were 321 cases admitted and 2,323 outpatient cases during the jamboree. Only 52 cases had to be sent to other hospitals. Staff dealt with a range of problems from minor cuts, burns and sprains to fractures and head injuries. 2 guiders ran a dispensary providing both prescription and non-prescription medicines. There was also a dental clinic and an operating theatre. The hospital canteen provided meals for patients and the 50 members of staff, including many special diets, all cooked on open fires. Staff were asked to accommodate lost boys after the Wolf Cub rally. The hospital was also proud to be asked to provide the bedding and equipment for the Prince of Wales tent. This hospital had the far-reaching effect that many heads of Boy Scout movements from other countries saw the excellent work of the Girl Guides and changed their attitudes towards them. Events during the Jamboree. On Baden-Powell, a peerage was to be conferred by King George V, as was announced on the 2nd of August by the Prince of Wales, who attended the Jamboree in Scout uniform. The formal title of Baron Baden-Powell of Gilwell, Co. Essex was granted on the 17th of September 1929, confirming the high notion Baden-Powell had of education and training. After Gilwell Park, where the International Scout Leader Training and the Wood Badge course took place, in the morning of Sunday the 4th of August, an open-air Thanksgiving service was held, presided by Cosmo Lang, Archbishop of Canterbury, and by Francis Bourne, Archbishop of Westminster, for Protestant and Catholic Scouts. And later that day a service was also held in Liverpool Cathedral. On the 10th of August, the Chief Scout Sir Robert Baden-Powell was given special attention. On behalf of all Scouts worldwide, he was presented with a Rolls-Royce motorcar and a caravan trailer. The caravan was nicknamed Eccles and is now on display at Gilwell Park. These gifts were paid for by penny donations of more than 1 million Scouts worldwide. The car, nicknamed Jam Roll, was sold after his death by Olive Baden-Powell in 1945. Jam Roll and Eccles were reunited at Gilwell for the 21st World Scout Jamboree in 2007. Recently it has been purchased on behalf of Scouting and is owned by a charity, BP Jam Roll Limited. Funds are being raised to repay the loan that was used to purchase the car. Also, he was given an oil-painted portrait by David Jagger, which since has been used as a publicity picture by many Scout organizations. It is on display in the Baden-Powell House. Lastly, Baden-Powell was given a cheque for £2,750 and an illuminated address, closing ceremony and golden arrow. The farewell ceremony on the last day, the 12th of August, consisted of a march with flags and banners past the Royal Box with the Chief Scout and other officers, ending in a wheel of friendship formed by the Scouts, with 21 spokes symbolic for the 21 years of Scouting. While burying a hatchet in a cask of gilded wooden arrows, Baden-Powell addressed the gathered Scouts. Here is the hatchet of war, of enmity, of bad feeling, which I now bury in Arrowe. From all corners of the world you came to the call of brotherhood and to Arrowe. Now I send you forth to your homelands bearing the sign of peace, goodwill and fellowship to all your fellow men. From now on in Scouting the symbol of peace and goodwill is a golden arrow. Carry that arrow on and on, so that all may know of the brotherhood of men. Then he sent the golden arrows as peace symbols to the north, south, west, and east, through the spokes of the wheel of friendship. I want you all to go back from here to your countries in different parts of the world with a new idea in your minds of having brothers in every country. Go forth from here as ambassadors of goodwill and friendship. Every one of you Scouts, no matter how young or small, can spread a good word about this country and those whom you have met here. Try to make yourselves better Scouts than ever. Try to help other boys, especially the poorer boys, to be happy, healthy, and helpful citizens like yourselves. And now, farewell, goodbye. God bless you all. The golden arrows are wooden and gilded, about 40 centimeters long. It is not certain how many arrows there were. 3 of the golden arrows are placed in England, one in the museum at the Yalbury Scout Activity Centre, near Oxford, the other, given to the Polish contingent in 1929, was last seen in 2000 in Warsaw, Poland. In the early part of the Second World War, a Polish soldier was taken prisoner in his own country, and managed to escape. He was a Scout, and had been the one to receive the golden arrow from the hands of the chief at the Jamboree at Arrowe Park on the coming of age of Scouting in 1929. He had lost everything, home, family, and all that he held most dear, except one precious possession, the golden arrow, in rough wood, which he was determined to take away with him. After passing through many adventures he reached Great Britain. Nothing arrived except one brave worn-out Polish soldier and his golden arrow. He sought out a Scout whom he knew, and by whom he had been taught his scouting in the old days at Arrowe Park. To him he gave the arrow, saying that for the present it was no longer of any use to him. He had brought it to the only haven he knew. It was afterwards given into the safekeeping of small country troop, who looked upon it with great pride. The chief never knew this story, but would have loved it if he had, and might truly have said, I shot an arrow into the air. It fell to earth I know not where. Some day, when war is over and peace has come, the arrow will go back to Poland. That is what the Brotherhood of Scouts does for people. That is the spirit of Scouting. And badly will that spirit of comradeship be needed for the reconstruction of the world that lies ahead. Quote, in 1996, during the camp celebrating the readmittance to World Scouting of the Polish Scouting and Guiding Association, the Golden Arrow was given to Polish International Commissioner Memorabilia. For the event, a memorial sculpture by sculptor Edward Carter Preston was erected in 1931 at an entrance to the park, now within the grounds of Arrowe Park Hospital. It was commissioned by the Boy Scout movement, and unveiled by Lord Hampton, the headquarters commissioner. After restoration in the early 1980s, it was re-unveiled in 1983 by the then Chief Scout Major General Michael Walsh. Related reading: Fisher, Claude. 1929. The World Jamboree. 1929. The Quest for the Golden Arrow. The Boy Scouts Association. p. 151 pages. ASIN B0008D276Y. Notes. Jamboree Histories at Scout Base. Jamboree Histories at Scout.org. The Quest of the Golden Arrow. The 1929 World Scout Jamboree.